It's been well over a week since Money in the Bank weekend, and a lot has happened since then. Since Money in the Bank weekend last week, we saw the crowning of a brand new World Heavyweight Champion in the form of the Ring General Gunta being now the only two-time World Champion. Since that version was brought into WWE, we saw Naomi last night on SmackDown attempt to cash in Money in the Bank, and we even also saw Seth Rollins as well show off Money in the Bank, and we even also got the chance to find out. We also let me rephrase. We also found out who would be JC Jane's next challenger for the NXT Women's title via the Fatal 4-Way Eliminator, which those matches will not start until this coming Tuesday. But there has been one thing that has been on the minds of the WWE Universe. But what is that? It is the recent rumors about WWE signing some of the talent that are a part of the Lucha Libre promotion AAA. Excuse me. Some of which include guys like Pagano, Psycho Clown, guys like Elio del Vikingo, Elio del Dr. Wagner Jr. Who else? Laredo Kid, Octagon Jr., and even also the most notable of the promotion, Mr. Iguana. Probably one of the most unique individuals in professional wrestling. Obviously being the fact that he is one half of, I believe, the AAA Mixed Tag Team Champions. I actually want to look that up. Let's see. Mr. Iguana. So interestingly enough, Mr. Iguana has had quite the interesting championship accolade, list of accolades, if you will. So he is actually he's actually one half of the KAOZ Lucha Libre Mixed Tag Team Champions alongside Reina Dorada, and then of course the first ever KAOZ Tag Team Champions with the Frazero Jr. And then he's actually one half of the current AAA World Mixed Tag Team Champions alongside La Hiedra, who actually has had quite the interesting who's had quite the interesting background when it comes to professional wrestling. But with Mr. Iguana, there's been a lot of chatter that there was a lot of chatter that Mr. Iguana could end up getting signed with WWE at some point. However, we all figured, okay, if he's gonna get signed, he'll be a part of NXT, right? Wrong. Actually, that is incorrect. In fact, rumors have it that WWE wants to put him on the main roster. But why? Why do they want to put Mr. Iguana on the main roster? Well, the answer is very simple. It is because of the fact that the kids love Mr. Iguana and his pet iguana La Yesca, who is which basically it is a puppet iguana, basically. Literally, that's what it is. And so because of that, and I know that I touched on this topic a little bit at some point earlier this week, but I wanted to dive deeper into this topic because of the fact that out of everybody that competed in at Worlds Collide last week, from Dr. Wagner Jr., Psycho Clown, from Pagano, Vikingo, Laredo Kid, Chica Tormenta, Dalis La Caribena, and then of course Mr. Iguana, Aerostar, and of course Octagon Jr. Out of all of them, Mr. Iguana had a much better showing in on WWE soil rather than a lot more than everyone else. But it makes sense because of the fact that, again, the kids love Mr. Iguana, and the t-shirt sales went through the roof, which made him a fan favorite. And interestingly enough, we all thought that he was going to be filling the final spot of the King of the Ring tournament for Monday Night Raw. Turns out it ended up being main event Jey Uso, which makes sense because he was definitely going to be owed a rematch at some point. So I feel like Jey putting himself back in the world title picture definitely is a good idea, but we'll have to wait and see. But as far as Mr. Iguana goes, that's it, again, that's the basic reason why they want him on the main roster. Merch sales went up. The kids love Mr. Iguana and La Yesca, and the fact that he had such an incredible showing, he had such an amazing performance at Worlds Collide. There's really no telling what the future could hold for him, but I feel like it's definitely something to look into because if you were to look at Mr. Iguana in NXT, yes, you've got guys like Wesley, you've got guys like Tony D'Angelo, Luca Crucifino, you got Obafemi, the current NXT champion, you've got Ethan Page, the current NXT North American champion, you've got Sean Spears and Nico Vance of the Culling, Josh Briggs, Yoshiki Inomura, you've got Tyson DuPont and Tariq Igwe, the other 2/3 of the High Rise, even also Miles Bourne, the rest of No Quarter Catch crew. You've got a lot of talent, in NXT. But think about this. Think about some of the different dream matches that we could potentially see. We could see Mr. Iguana versus Rey Mysterio. Think about that, guys. Think about that. That right there would have the makings of a 5-star instant classic, 100%. But it comes down to one question: what is the downside of Mr. Iguana being on the main roster way too early? Well, the answer is simple. The fan base, the entire WWE universe. It comes down to them. It comes down to what they want out of Mr. Iguana. Do they want to see him as a champion on Raw? Do they want to see him as a champion on SmackDown? Or are they just gonna push him aside for someone else? Like I don't know. Let's say push Iguana aside for Carmelo Hayes. Just as a good example. Is that possible? 100%. It is 100% possible. But would that become a factor? No. I don't think it would become that much of a factor considering the fact that the kids love Mr. Iguana, and the fact that he's had such an incredible run with AAA. He even admitted, even it says here his pro debut was back in 2009. He was a part he made his first appearance in professional wrestling for a promotion known as the Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre on October 11th in 2015. He had been a part of the independent scene since 2009, and again made his pro debut in 2015. He signed a deal with AAA during the pandemic, and became one half of the mixed tag team champions alongside La Hiera, literally just last year. So the fact that with his appearance at Worlds Collide, turning because that appearance at Worlds Collide turned him into a very highly popular star. That's what got WWE to think maybe we could see him on the main roster. Maybe we might see him on NXT, because we know that we saw Psycho Clown, we saw Octagon Jr., we saw Dr. Wagner Jr., and also Mr. Iguana on, not just on Raw this past Monday, but also on NXT this past Tuesday as well. So there's definitely a lot to consider, right? Like, what would, like, if it's Monday Night Raw, right? If he got signed to Monday Night Raw, which is where he's most likely gonna end up, what would be a good fit for Mr. Iguana? One of the things that could be a good fit for him is joining the LWO. And I know I know that this is something that Dragon Lee and Cruz del Toro probably wouldn't have wanted, considering the fact that they were opponents they were Iguana's opponents on Saturday last week, but because that all the members of the LWO, Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wilde, Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio, Zelina Vega, even the former members, Santos Escobar and Carlito, because that they all have a passion and respect for the lucha libre style of wrestling, I think it would make sense for Mr. Iguana to be a part of the LWO, and maybe bring championship gold to the group, which is possible, but because that a lot of people have are under the belief that the LWO have now become such an afterthought recently. Maybe we might see Iguana, go at it on his own. Maybe even go after, say, the Intercontinental title, currently being held by none other than Dirty Dom. That's a possibility. I know that he had a few choice words for Octagon Jr. and for Aerostar and for Mr. Iguana, on Saturday last week. But that's a possibility. We could even see Mr. Iguana go after the World Heavyweight title, currently, now once again being held by Gunther. Who knows? Who knows? Only time will tell. But it's weird though, because you look at Rey Mysterio's career, his career has been nothing short of incredible. Three-time world champion in WWE, two-time Intercontinental champion, three-time U.S. champion. What? Six-time, seven-time tag team champion. With multiple people, including guys like Edge, Rob Van Dam, Eddie Guerrero, God rest his soul. Um, you know, with Batista, even also with his own son, Dirty Dom. So the fact, the fact that Rey Mysterio, has had that type of career, has become such an inspiration, not only to guys like Dragon Lee and women too, like women like Zelina Vega, but also guys like Mr. Iguana. And I think that's what caused WWE to want to put him on the main roster, is because they want the entire WWE universe, not just on Raw, not just on SmackDown, not just on in NXT, but pretty much the entire wrestling world. They want to show off. They want Mr. Iguana to show off what he's truly capable of in a one-on-one scenario. He had a crazy showing, in that six-man tag on Saturday, but what about as a singles competitor? Does he have what it takes? Is he capable? And is he ready for the main roster? Honestly, in my honest opinion, and I am playing devil's advocate with this one, but I don't think he is ready. I don't think he's ready for the main roster. And the only reason why is because of one thing. And to give my piece of evidence with this whole ordeal. WWE announced right around this time last year that Stephanie Vaquer was going to be signed with WWE, making her the first Chilean wrestler to sign with WWE. She admitted that she wanted to be a part of the main roster, but chose to go to NXT because she wanted to be sure that she was ready. And she had only been a part of NXT not even a year, like at least like 7 months. 7 months already. Former NXT Women's Champion, former NXT Women's North American Champion. Already she has done the impossible of holding both titles in a single reign. If something like that can happen, and if she was able to gain a victory at Stand and Deliver against three of the best, against Jada Parker. Let me go back. Against Jada Parker, Jordan Grace, and Julia, and also defeating Jordan Grace at Battleground as well. I think that just those moments alone is proof that Stephanie Vaquer was ready for the main roster, but she was ready months ago. Like literally, like even before WrestleMania weekend, Stephanie Vaquer was ready for the main roster. And I think with Mr. Iguana, if he were to be a part of NXT, right? Like let's say keep him there for at least, let's say 6 months. Let's say 6 months. After, during that time, he becomes NXT North American Champion. He wins the NXT Heritage Cup, currently being held by Noam Dar, which makes this, I believe, his 4th reign as Heritage Cup champion, which is incredible. I think just that alone would make him ready for the main roster. But in my opinion, I don't think he is. I think he needs time in NXT to grow as a performer and grow as a person in order for him to be a part of the main roster. But Obviously, that is only one man's opinion. I don't know about you guys, but I think NXT would definitely be a good start for Mr. Iguana, and then have him on Monday Night Raw. I mean, the talent that's on both brands is just incredible. There's also a lot of great talent on SmackDown, but I think NXT and then over to Monday Night Raw would definitely be a good start for Mr. Iguana. But with that being said, let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on this whole ordeal and which brand Mr. Iguana should, what brand you believe Mr. Iguana should be on for, in the foreseeable future. Let me know down in the comments below, and that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more WWE topic videos in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.